What did you not? Do you not like
And
that
I'm like,
bit
I don't
in
like
Aramanga
this.
Sensei?
I didn't watch.
Do you remember that?
Sensei?
You didn't watch Aramanga Sensei?
I watched like one episode and dropped it.
Oh my god, you're a fake pedophile! I can't believe it. That's our plan. That's our big goal for 2026. We're gonna run train on CoffeeZilla. Hello and welcome to the Weeb Crew. I'm your host, Psyotic, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Mumi.
This is just random slop. What?
This is just random. We're just using slop now as like a suffix for everything. This is just podcast slop. This is just
dead air
pod
slop. Pod slop.
Speaking of pod slop, let's talk about that's like a podcast name.
Yeah, the pod slop. Podcast.
It's time to rebrand for 2026 to pod slop.
Do you think people would hate Pod Slop or the Weeb Crew more as a podcast name?
I feel like at least it's clear what kind of podcast this is with the Weeb Crew, whereas Pod Slop, it's literally anything. It's just nonsense. True. What is this podcast? Pod Slop? I don't want to listen to that. I just
Pod Slop?
It sounds like shit. Why do I want to listen to a podcast that just is promoting itself to be shit?
It's promoting itself to be slop, not shit.
Slop.
All right. There's a distinction.
Yeah, there's a distinction. Okay. Well, let's talk about all the anime slop that we watched this season.
Yeah. How much did we even? Okay. We're addressing the allegations right off the bat. This season fucking sucked.
Yeah, it was not a very good. I mean, there was some good anime, but not a very good season. Kind of.
I mean, it's not unexpected coming off of like two really strong seasons.
Sure, we gotta fall off at some point, but this also just feels below average as a season.
Maybe it's because we didn't watch a lot of the sequels.
I think so, and that's probably like our fault because we didn't really bother to.
Well, let's see. So we didn't watch Spy Family season 3, which probably would have helped.
Yeah.
We didn't watch Campfire Cooking in Another World, which I don't know how much that would have helped, but probably
I don't know
about that. Maybe a little bit. I mean, it might have helped a little bit. I don't know. We didn't really have a lot of good anime.
I didn't dislike Campfire Cooking in Another World, but I also was not like, oh man, I really gotta watch season 2.
Yeah.
Uma Musume is like the season 2 that we missed out on. Probably should have watched.
I mean, I don't know how much it would have super improved. It would have been better. I think it's like same for like Campfire Cooking for me, honestly. Maybe a little bit better.
I would say I like Uma Musume more than Campfire Cooking, and I'm more interested in watching season 2.
I'm like, I liked them both okay.
Oh, I thought I would have thought you would have liked Uma Musume a lot more.
I mean, I like it all right.
Oh yeah, what else came out? What else came out this past season that we just didn't? Oh, of course, One Punch Man season 3. No, My Hero Academia, the final season. Don't really care. I mean, I'll get around to it eventually, but I feel like, how many seasons is this? How many seasons is My Hero Academia in total? 8. So
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's like over. It's definitely like probably close to 200 episodes, which would have been funny just to force you to watch just to catch up to the final season.
Oh, I wouldn't have caught up. I'll just watch it out of context.
No, I mean, that's fine. I've always said this, every season of My Hero Academia starts with a recap episode. Not because people are stupid and just forgot. It's literally there for new watchers to be able to just start the latest season. What else? What were some other season 2s? Or no, I guess didn't you watch To Your Eternity season 3?
I am caught up with To Your Eternity season 3.
I guess it is 2 core, but how's that so far? You seem to be pretty enthusiastic about that.
It's interesting. It's like, how do I put it? It's like the new game. It's like if you imagine like a Persona game, When like you beat the bad, like the story, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, let's just live normal lives now.
Okay.
So he like spoilers, I guess, mild spoilers. I don't know how it's not like gonna spoil everything or nothing. It's not like some big plot point. But he gets the ability to like make human bodies at some point, and then he finds out there are spirits that can possess those bodies. So if the spirit hasn't moved on, they could come back to life.
Okay.
So he's able to bring back a number of the people that died along his like 1,000-year journey or whatever back to life. And he just brings them to life in modern day Japan. So you have like this fucking like, I don't know what the little girl, she's like a tribal human, like a hunter-gatherer society human. Like
tribal
in modern
human.
day Japan.
She's what we call human slop.
She's humans. Well, I don't even know, because she's not like an Ainu specific. She's from like a different area. I don't know where the fuck this like where these places take place is fucking vague as fuck. Okay.
Okay.
There's not really like identifying like, this is clearly this area. It's just like,
have you
okay,
considered
we're like,
you're just stupid and it's a skill issue on your part?
Possibly. I mean, I'm willing to bet it's more just it's a fucking like fantasy story. It's not like supposed to take place in a specific area.
But they're in Japan, modern day Japan now.
Currently, they are modern day Japan. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's interesting because like it then is revealed like that things aren't as ideal as they thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you're kind of getting this like interesting conflict that they're kind of exploring with, you know, these characters that had struggles in their time now dealing with modern day struggles.
Like
and
having
he's kind
to
of
pay
like
taxes and lines at the store.
Learn, do homework, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
When some of them were never been in a school.
Some of them are. Some of them are. Yeah.
But it's dealing with like, still dealing with like the kind of overall theme of like love and shit.
Okay.
And it's very interesting. I don't want to like spoil too much. Like,
okay.
Despite me like describing the framework of season 3, I wouldn't say that's a lot of spoilers. If someone is watching it, they will know I'm leaving out quite a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been interesting. Like, I've liked season 3 more than I've liked the other 2 seasons. I like season 1 okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched season 2 kind of more as like, oh, I watched season 1, so I guess I might as well just watch season 2. Same thing with season 3, where I was like, I guess I might as well. I watched 2 seasons. I'm in it for the long haul, I guess. And I've been actually enjoying it, where I'm like, oh, this is weird and interesting. I didn't expect this.
Like a strange direction to take the story.
Yeah, a strange, interesting direction where it's like, I've not seen this necessarily. Like, I don't know, like the closest thing I could think of to shit like this is like Phoenix.
Okay.
Where it's just
interesting.
That's spans random generations of time.
Yeah. And it's kind of like all over the place, but it's not really an anthology like that, like Phoenix is.
No, well, it does have like it's like I guess it's like the reverse of Phoenix, where like Phoenix was like the Phoenix, the titular Phoenix of Phoenix.
Yeah. Was
like the linchpin that kind of tied them all these anthologies together.
Yeah.
Whereas this is very similar, but like the protagonist is the linchpin as opposed to like
a fucking bird.
A bird, like a goal or like something. Like that's not like a tangible thing. So yeah, I don't know, it's interesting. I did not expect it to go in this direction, but I've been enjoying it.
Now, are they others? I mean, Kingdom season 6. My God, is Kingdom ever gonna end? I feel like Kingdom is now just like a Yamishibai kind of thing, where it's just like, yeah, it's the new It's the new kingdom. It's the new Yamishibai. It's just always going to be here forever, and it's never going to go away.
I mean, you say it's still behind My Hero Academia.
I guess technically, yeah. Although, I mean, I feel like Kingdom has been airing for longer. When did Kingdom Season 1 come out?
That's a good question.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick.
It looks like it's
2012. It's been going for like 14 years.
Pretty decent amount of time.
Yeah,
it's been
honestly.
Okay, so it's been going longer than My Hero, but it has less seasons, so we can't say it's slopping it yet.
It's slopping it. God fucking damn it. We're just getting brain rotted progressively more and more.
The hell is this future kid Takara?
Takara? I have no idea.
Studio 4C original short anime.
Interesting. Yeah, is there anything? I guess there's like a number of things that came out this season that we didn't watch that I wanted to watch. Like Let's Play.
I didn't want to watch that shit.
Why? Why not? Why didn't you want to watch Disney Twisted Wonderland, the animation?
Oh my god. Why do you want to watch these?
I guess we did. I still need to watch the thing from Star Wars Visions, the Black episode.
Hey, I watched that.
Yeah. I still need to watch that because that was like the craziest thing ever by the looks of it.
Oh yeah, Ranma 1/2 second season also aired. Did not watch that.
I didn't really watch the first season. We did want to watch the Shinchan dad eating lunch anime, but maybe it has better subs now, but the subs when we were watching were like shitty machine translation that was honestly just unwatchable. And we're like, damn it.
Yeah.
I
will say
mm-hmm.
that would have been better than most of the shit we watched this season.
It's surprisingly popular and well received, which is funny just given the concept, and it's not like it looks crazy. It looks very wonky, if anything, kind of cheaply made. It makes it really funny to contrast that with both how popular it is, especially in Japan, and then also, from what I think it is getting proper subs now. The people who have watched it have said it's pretty good overall. Yeah, that's probably
I thought it was pretty good. From like the first episode,
but it was not really. It was hard to watch. Like you could like glean what was happening, but it wasn't exactly. I don't want to watch something with broken fucking machine translated subtitles.
Fair.
Is there anything else that we like? We did watch a few episodes. We did watch a few episodes of Digimon Beat Break, which was pretty fun, but we also had to weigh that against the fact that like it's going to be like a year-long show at least. How long was Ghost Game? That was like 60 some episodes, wasn't it?
The last two Digimon seasons have both been 64 episodes.
Yeah, so we'd be watching for more than a year, and we're already watching like Princession Orchestra and Marco Polo.
Well, my thing was watching Beat Break, I was like, this has not been better than Ghost Game or even the remake of Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if I want to spend 64. Like, it's already been hard enough watching those. I like those better.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend 64 episodes watching this, and it's not even like as good.
Yeah, I mean, it started off very strong, but once like we got like maybe like 4 or 5 episodes in, kind of settled into this thing, we're like, it's fine. I'm not as invested as I was initially. Is there anything? Did you watch any of the Cat's Eye remake?
No.
We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this at some point because we've been getting for the last few years now a lot of like remakes of anime from the 80s and 90s, and they all try nostalgia slop. And I mean, some of them turn out well. Like Ursa Yatsura looks very good, but Cat's Eye just kind of it maintained the overall designs of like the original manga and anime, but then that doesn't really translate. They don't really have the kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't have the same sort of style as the original like anime does. And with the character designs, it just kind of feels out of place. And I'm like, I don't really getting anything out of it. Similar thing with Hell Teacher Nube, where I think something like Ursa Yatsura benefited from not just having the characters look the same as they did in the 80s, or a little bit more modernized. And this doesn't really... It does kind of, but does not go far enough with it. And I'm just like, if I wanted to watch this, if I wanted to watch Cat's Eye, I would just watch the original TV show.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the play, honestly.
I mean, I guess maybe not for some people who just can't stand the look of old animation, but if those people are also
get the fuck over it.
Those people are also not going to be watching a modern adaptation of Cat. No one is saying, it's like, oh, thank God. I've been wanting to get into Cat's Eye for so long, but I just cannot. I don't like how it looks. And this is the anime. Like, no one's saying that. Those people don't exist.
No.
Anything else before we get into the stuff that we actually did watch? I guess what I will say, there were a number of things that you guys were watching in Lex Torius' server that I kind of started watching but wasn't really able to keep up with. Like, I've not seen any of the fucking Kamen Rider anime. I've seen a few episodes. I've seen how's the Kamen Rider anime?
It's fun.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's gonna be a weird comparison.
Okay.
Because it's not really like Gokudo versus Ninja. It kind of fills the same kind of like niche as that, but it's not really JoJo-y. Oh no.
Mm-hmm. JoJo-y.
Yeah,
but it has like that kind of like
camp.
Yeah, I don't know how to put the tone into words to describe Ninja versus Gokudo outside of maname. It's kind of, I guess that's the best way I could put it. But yeah, I haven't seen any of that. I'd like to catch up to it at some point. I watched the first episode of Sanda, and I really liked that first episode. We'll see how it pans out. I know you were more lukewarm on it, just on the show overall, and you've seen more than me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Sanda.
And then Shumatsu Touring, which I've only seen maybe 3 episodes, and I would say it's my favorite show of the season.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's like between that and 2 other ones.
Okay. What 2 other ones?
The Mangaka's Workplace and Shabake.
Shabake. Okay.
Shumatsu Touring has some really strong peaks.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's super consistent.
That's funny because to me, what it really reminded me the most of, what it felt like the most to me, were the parts of what's the show John really likes? It's like John's favorite anime of the decade, and it's like the boy in a girl's body and the other boy like traveling around, and then there's like kids in the school.
Heavenly Delusion. Heavenly
Delusion. It reminded me of the stuff from Heavenly Delusion that I liked, which was like the traveling around this kind of like fucked up post-apocalyptic world. And then this kind of does even more so with these like kind of like light kind of stories. That I really liked. It's a little bit more of a, I mean, it's a brighter, warmer Girls Last Tour in a certain way.
Yeah.
A little bit less depressing, a little bit more kind of
I was thinking about it because like
mm-hmm.
It is very easy to compare it to its sort of ilk in that lineage.
Yeah.
Of Girls Last Tour, I don't want to say like Apocalypse Hotel or
a little bit
Train.
of Apocalypse Hotel, like specifically like an episode 11 kinda. Apocalypse Hotel is kind of all over the place though, so it's kind of hard to compare to a lot of stuff.
I don't know. I guess the clearest comparison is like Girls Last Tour.
Yeah.
Maybe even like YKK.
Mm-hmm. Well, it marries all these things that you like. It marries, post-apocalyptic setting, which has kind of been your thing recently, it feels like. Basically since Shumatsu Train.
I think that's like just like a coincidence. I don't know. I wouldn't say like I'm a post-apocalyptic person. I do. I like post-apocalypse stories when they are like Yokohama Shopping Log, Girls Last Tour, I guess to a lesser extent. That kind of story where it's kind of
like Iyashike post-apocalypse.
Yeah. Because like it makes for an interesting lens for which to like look back on.
Kind of like a
society.
post-humanist kind of thing.
Or, yeah, something like that. Shimatsu Touring, I feel like it more like hits the beats of those in a not necessarily like a cynical way. I don't want to say it's like cynical going by the numbers, but it's kind of compared to like some of the stuff before, it kind of does feel a bit sauceless, if that's the best way to put it.
I guess maybe it's a little bit more codified in a way, which is it's weird to talk about that. And I guess you could also say maybe generic, or if you want to be fancy with it, generic. It's the
genre
spelled the same way.
It's weird. It's weird to say that though, because like I'm remembering like Girls Last Tour, I felt somewhat similarly. I mean, obviously I had like a higher opinion.
But I think it's also like we're describing such a niche genre at this point, where it's girls, girls traveling around in a post-apocalyptic setting, which is it's not a lot of those. So talking about it as it being generic, it's like. It's not much of a genre to begin with. Right.
I don't know. It almost feels like it draws more of a comparison to like Kino sometimes.
A little. I could see that.
There's not necessarily the communal aspect where you're like introducing new cities or
these different like fairy tale lands.
Yeah. I don't know, it was okay. There are some, like I said, there's some strong parts. It does handle some of the pathos really well. Of like,
episode 2 was really, really strong.
What was the robot's name? Episode 2 that he said it was like like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something.
Something like that.
Episode 2 was strong. The Akiba radio was pretty strong. Like the emotional peak of it. There's an episode later with like a Honda motorbike museum that's pretty good.
Okay.
I feel like that's it. And then like the ending's kind of weirdly unsatisfying. It's just kind of like,
is it like a final ending, or is it more like maybe a season? Well, the
manga's ongoing.
Okay.
So it's not a final ending, but it does conclude itself in a way that it could be. It's just not a very satisfying final ending. It's just kind of like, okay. Because so the focus of the last episodes of being like a flashback, so you do get some answers.
Okay.
To the circumstances. I mean, not a lot of answers, but some.
Yeah.
And then it kind of ends on like this weird note. I'm like, I don't know. It was all right. It was pretty good. I feel like I might like the mangaka's weird workplace more, honestly.
That's fair. I mean, we'll get into that, but we have another post-apocalyptic show to talk about first.
What's that?
Dusk After the End of the World.
Oh yeah, that was one. Yeah.
Yeah, the man. Shit. This show is it's so frustrating, is what I'll say, because it starts off. And it sucks. After that, episode 0 was so boring until you get to like the last like 3 minutes, or maybe the last minute of the episode. And then when episode 1 starts and we actually get the actual premise of the show, which is like this guy wakes up from cryo sleep basically, and now the world is like completely different. I think he's in Hokkaido, and like there's been some sort of catastrophe, and like there's the world is completely different. Marriage is no longer a thing, and so they have like these weird polycule like kind of thing going on. They're these kind of tribal people, but they're not really Ainu either. And then
the Walker's trying to end marriage.
Well, that's the other thing. The world is controlled now by a global organization called OWL, which was the main character initially misheard as Orwell. So it's kind of sets this up as like, oh, it's like a post-apocalyptic and it's like dystopian. There's this organization that's like running everything and they're clearly bad. They're like the bad guys. And it's like, okay, the show is going to be about him and his like robot girlfriend fighting, like, you know, trying to, he wants to figure out what happened in the past and stuff and like what's going on. And that's going to involve them coming into conflict with this owl organization. And that's what the show is going to be about. No, the show is not about that at all. In fact, instead, the core conceit of the show is the polycule replacement of marriage, where instead of like a man and a woman getting married now, instead of a man and woman getting married, anyone can basically enter a partnership with anyone else and any amount of people, seemingly. So it could be like 3 women, or 2 women and a guy, or 2 guys, or and like any sort of like configuration, basically. And the term for it is Elsia or whatever. And the whole show, well, not the whole show, but the entire middle portion of the show is them basically traveling through Japan and encountering these different people and their relationship troubles. And that is the core of the show.
I can't believe this show just ripped off fucking Final Fantasy 13 with LC and all that cocoon shit.
I have no idea. I've never played a Final Fantasy game before. And then the last 2 or 3 episodes of the show just return to being complete and utter schlock again. And not like fun, like, because the prior, like the middle part of the show, basically from episode 1 until episode like 10 or 11, is still kind of schlock, but it's fun. And then once we get the exposition dump towards the end, and then there's all this other stuff that like the plot kicks back in, I'm just like, why? This is so dumb. Why? This is the dumbest fucking thing. And then it just kind of ends.
Well, I mean, it concludes.
It concludes in a not a very satisfying way, where it's just kind of like, yep, this is how the show ends, and it's a happy ending, but it's not really earned at all.
No, and
it's frustrating too, because I do like that middle portion of the show quite a bit. It just starts off as one thing, becomes something completely else after that, and then at the end it just goes back to kind of sucking again. And I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
And the ending, by the way, has like nothing to do with the themes of the show about relationships and navigating complicated relationship dynamics. The ending has nothing to do with any of that.
Oh, yeah, it does,
I guess, if you really want to squint.
Well, I mean, the ending...
It's like an annoying love triangle
like,
thing.
Literal... Right. Well, that's like them trying to navigate their relationship. Because, like, the ending on a physical, like, real reality level is this one guy analog hacking into one of the androids to force them to, like, fight or whatever. But, like, and emotionally, it's them trying to work out, like...
But it's also not her, because, like, their personalities merge and stuff.
Yeah, but it's like... It's kind of like the honest side of her that can't be honest, or, like... Not necessarily, like, she wants to kill them honest, but, like, it's an unfiltered version of her that is, like, mentally unbalanced, so, like, it's able to express things that she wouldn't be able to otherwise. I don't know, I wouldn't say it's not completely about, like, the relationship stuff. It's just not well executed.
The exposition flashback episode has nothing to do with any of that.
No, well,
no.
No.
That episode sucked, but fuck was it not entertaining to just be like, and then she did this, and we're like, why? She just keeps making everything worse. Just Stop! You have single-handedly destroyed the world. What is
That
wrong
was the
with
best
you?
part. Where it's like, you just expect like one thing to have gone wrong.
No,
But, like,
if something
it's
goes
just, like-
wrong, she tries to fix it and then fucks it up even more.
She literally just makes Skynet and releases it on the world, and you're just like, why did
And
we
then
do
you're like,
that?
I will fix this with nanobots that I'm going to inject into everyone's blood. It's like, stop it. Stop everything you're doing. Jesus Christ.
The nanobots weren't
Oh, no, those
the
come
fix.
first.
They were just the thing. That was just the thing she like did. And you're like, okay, well that's gonna fuck up somehow, I guess.
Yeah,
whatever.
obviously.
And then she tries to fix that with Skynet, and you're like, whoa, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Why are we releasing fucking
And then she tries to
Shodan
fix,
into the
and
world?
then she tries to fix Skynet by making even more robots. And then they're fighting Skynet. And we don't see any of those characters in the entire show until the very end.
No, we see like
We see
3
two of them, and there's like 10.
There's like 12.
God, the show's a hot mess in a lot of ways. More
Yeah,
mess than hot.
That's
I
not
mean-
hot either.
The character designs are nice. I like the world, like the overall setting is nice. Again, there's some really nice episodes there in the middle, like the Hot Springs episode or the weird Yakuza stuff and the train episode. All that's nice. It's just hard to recommend it based on that because it does not start strong and it does not end strong.
Oh, this is not a recommendation for anybody.
No.
I don't give a shit. Like, if it sounds interesting, go for. But like,
We only watch
is like
this
something-
because it's an original anime and we feel kind of
it's
obligated.
original anime. It's fine. I feel like it's fine to watch week to week as a
Yes.
experience or a ride. I would not go out of my way to go back and watch this, like binge it or something. Like when I could watch anything else. But like week to week, just kind of like speculating on what could happen next. It was a entertaining experience.
I will say, I feel like the ending of the show annoyed me less because I was not like super emotionally invested. I was always just kind of detached because the show is kind of perpetually silly.
Yeah.
Even so, it did still kind of annoy me. And it's like, damn, this is... it's from the director of like every JoJo part up through part 5, I think.
Yeah, I'm convinced that whatever happened on part 4, he must not have been as involved.
I mean, it's a good looking show overall. It's just, and I think he did the script for it as well. And it's like, my God, I mean, it doesn't even. What studio is this against? PA Works, right?
PA Works, yeah. PA Works.
And we've talked about this. PA Works. They keep doing these original anime, which we obviously like because it's.
Who is this
nice.
PA Works guy? He keeps doing these anime.
It gives us something interesting to watch. But what I've noticed is that, you know, Dusk Before the End, After the End of the World does not feel like an original anime. It feels like a light novel adaptation, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but you compare it to something like Akiba Maid War. Akiba Maid War is so fucking deranged, it could only have been an anime original. But then you compare it to something like Food for the Soul, which was also PA Works and also an anime original. And I honestly thought that was a manga adaptation. I'm going to be completely honest.
What, Food for the Soul?
Yeah.
It could be like a 4-coma adaptation or something.
Yeah, that's the vibe that it had. And you know what? That's perfectly fine with me because PA Works, they're taking risks. They're making these original anime. Sometimes they pan out. Sometimes they don't. But god damn it, you gotta love to see them try and just go for it.
Yeah. I don't know. This is a hard pass as a recommendation.
I mean, if based on how we've described it and how we've reacted to certain things, it interests you, go ahead and watch it. But just
No one. No,
go
it's
and
not
know
anything,
we're
but-
putting caution tape up, and if you're crossing the caution tape line, do so at your own risk.
Oh.
Oh God. What do we want to talk about next? What do we have?
The world is our oyster. We have everything.
I guess we could talk a little bit about Sanda because it is also a kind of post-apocalyptic thing. I've only seen the first episode. I thought the first episode was really interesting in terms of all these different ideas that it was just incorporating in fairly subtle ways, I feel, between, like, you have all the stuff with Santa Claus and what Santa Claus represents. Santa Claus is like a hero for children. Also, like, there's been climatological collapse because it doesn't really snow in the winter. Like, winter is just warm now, and to these kids that's completely, like, that's just what is normal to them. And I think even the first episode they basically just outright say, like, the adults
Japan no longer has 4 seasons.
Yeah, something like that. So you have all these, like, different interesting things going on. Childhood, adolescence, becoming an adult, dealing with puberty and your body developing, all these sorts of things tied in and, like, interestingly together, at least based in the first episode. Mumi, what are your thoughts on Sanda as someone? Have you seen the whole first season?
I've got to watch the last 2 episodes.
Okay. But what are your thoughts on it overall?
Where to start with this? It's. I feel like I'm going to be in the minority. I feel like
Sanda's been very well received. Yeah,
generally pretty. I don't know if it's been super well received, but I think it's generally pretty well received. It's like a 7.5. I think that's a respectable score a mile or whatever. It's not like an 8, so it's not like, oh, I'm just fighting an uphill battle, but it's
not like us with Frieren or Orb.
It's not quite on that level. I think some of the ideas it's exploring could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
With the nature of like what it means to be a child or growing up.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff it does with, like, the Santa lore logic is probably the most interesting part to me. Like, literally, I think the most interesting part of the show was them, like, trying to explain how, because, like, at one point someone lies. It's never brought up again. So, like, unless it's brought up in the last 2 episodes, I haven't seen it yet. Yeah. But, like, some kid lies to his face, and, like, something falls over near him.
Okay.
And they determined that Santa has, like, a lie detector or, like, a bad kid detector that causes objects around to fall.
Okay.
When he gets near and there's a bad kid nearby or something. Because it's like, oh, well, if Santa's trying to give presents to a child that's been naughty, something will fall and then wake the child up and Santa will leave.
Yeah, I think that's in the first episode.
I think it's in the second episode.
Okay.
Second or third. But it's like that's like the most interesting kind of thing to me is that.
Yeah. The way they kind of like or even in the first episode when he first transforms into Santa, the reason he needs to have, like, red on him, it needs to be snowing, he needs to give something to a child. And in the context of when he transforms into Santa, the other, like, the main girl in the show is trying to stab him, or no, she already has stabbed him, but she's sitting on his lap. Granted, he's like lying bleeding, and she's, like, sitting on him, but she's sitting on his lap, and then she, like, makes a wish, and then he transforms into Santa. I'm like, there we go. That's schizophrenically clever.
Schizophrenic clever.
It's a fun way to, like, interpret these kind of weird traditions around Santa. It's the best thing to do that since The Santa Claus, starring Tim Allen.
The Santa Claus. Oh my god. That's just what we need is this, the Santa Claus Tim Allen dub live action version of Santa. Yeah, I think the turning point for me, like, I was, like, already kind of, like, not feeling it. I was like, there's some interesting things, but, like, it's not sold me on them yet.
Yeah.
I think the turning point where I, like, soured on the show was, like, episode 4, I think.
Okay.
which spends a significant amount of time having a one of the characters talk about adult penis, and they say adult penis a number of times.
What, do you not like
And
that
I'm like,
bit
I
in
don't like
Aramanga
this.
Sensei?
I didn't watch.
Do you remember that?
Sensei?
You didn't watch Aramanga Sensei?
I watched like one episode and dropped it.
Oh my god, you're a fake pedophile! I can't believe it.
Fake pedophile? I didn't realize I was faking being one.
You've been lying to me this whole time. There's a joke in Aramanga Sensei where one of the girls like knocks on the main character's door and he's like, "Yeah, all the girls my age love penises," and he just he keeps saying "ochinchin" like over and over and over again, and he's like, "Please stop saying that." I think I've seen that bit.
That's like the second episode, right? Where it's like the elf bitch and she doesn't know what a penis is.
Yeah,
I got it. Yeah, I've seen that bit.
I don't know. I
feel like that's different because that's like that's a joke. That's a bit, and it's just like, could you please stop saying? This is like being played seriously, and during a serious moment, it's like she just keeps saying "adult penis, adult penis, adult penis." I'm like, I don't.
That just sounds like something that would happen in Fire Punch. That sounds like something Tatsuki Fujimoto would write.
No, Tatsuki Fujimoto would have her get raped by a fucking dog and move on. We wouldn't hang on the fact that she's saying adult penis over and over again. That was just like a weird thing. I'm like, I don't. And then like we introduced like, I guess some mild spoilers. We introduced like a classroom of kids that have murdered adults.
Yeah,
and it's just like this is getting a little too like shooty and weird for me.
Well, okay. I mean, so this is Paru Itagaki, who's the author of Beastars. And Beastars itself is also fucking weird and all over the place. And we still need to watch the third season because you watched season 2, right?
I have watched season 2, yeah.
Season 2 goes in a really weird direction. Do you know about
I will
her?
say, Legacy is a much more interesting main character than Sanda, even though I fucking hate to give any kind of props to something like Beastars because it's fucking furry slop. Legacy is a very much a better main character.
That's fair. Legacy is a very interesting and relatable and empathetic main character. Do you know about her recent manga? Here, I'll read you the first line. So the manga is called Taika's Reason. Due to a declining birth rate, pets are being transformed into humanoid members of society. But are they truly human, or are you just like... when a misanthrope owl discovers her family dog, Pitbull Taika, standing over the mauled body of her father, she must decide whether to forgive or forget. What the fuck?
You know that clip of that podcast that Trixie did with Dick Masterson where she's explaining what lolicon is, and she says the infamous line, and Dick Masterson makes that face.
That
was the face I was making about halfway through that description.
Is this why you also didn't want to watch With You Our Love Will Make It Through this season?
You know, I'm really not one for like... I feel like this is the equivalent of like if they started making like, how to put it, like basically like furry anime but like it's a guy fucking a dog girl, but he like talks about slathering peanut butter on his balls. I'm like, we don't really need to do this. You know?
I think you're just being misogynist. I think you're just being misogynist.
It's not an arms race we need to get into.
I feel like you just have a stigma towards shoujo manga or manga written by women in general that involve fucking animal men. I guess we should maybe try to explain. You watched a few episodes at least of what is the like Japanese name of the show? Because the fucking English name's a mouthful. Kimito Koite Koi ni Naru.
It's a knotful.
not. God damn it. So
crossing
premise
the
of
walls of love with you beyond the border. In love we are, Kimikoe.
Sure. So the basic premise of the show is in this world, there are beast people that live in a segregated society that is progressively becoming more integrated with the main world. And as part of that, they're going to like school together. So the main girl and the main guy, the main love interest, who is a blue dog man,
Is this cartoon-looking dog motherfucker?
They end up in a weird sort of relationship where they're not technically dating, but they are coming increasingly close to just fucking one another, because the idea is
the woke are trying to cancel fucking anime for drawing like Anya aged up, but no one has a problem with them aging up Bluey in this fucking porn over here.
Fucking Blues Clues.
Fucking Blues Clues. They fucking ruled 63 Blue from Blues Clues. She was a girl.
Wait, Blue was a girl?
Yeah, Blue and Magenta are both girls. There are no boy dogs in Blues Clues.
Huh, I never knew that.
You just assumed her gender.
I didn't
just like
really
the author of With You Our Love Will Make It Through. You assumed Blue's gender.
I don't think there's an assumption about gender here. So, and basically she likes the dog man, and she wants, to everyone else in the class and just the world at large to accept him. However,
it's like every fucking white girl, we get it.
However, he has a problem. He has a problem. He has a weird dog libido thing where if he gets in too close a contact with either the main girl or seemingly other women, he goes feral, for lack of a better word. He literally like starts growling and like licking her and like groping her and like biting her and stuff. And all this is presented in a completely sexual manner. Like the core conceit of the show is this weird, like intimate eroticism thing with a dog guy.
You know that podcast with Trixie?
Shut the fuck up while I keep describing this, okay? So she wants him to become more accepted and adjusted to society. So they basically start engaging in exposure therapy, where they will come into close physical contact with one another, and in order to help him control his degenerate Beastman urges of raping women. And that's more or less what the whole show is.
Well, you forget the element of it doing like the Jim Crow.
There's a weird discrimination.
Mobile Alabama, like with the Mobile 5. Is that what it was? Mobile.
Yeah, something like that.
I forget
the school integration thing.
The school integration. They make very heavy-handed, like, parallels to like this racism stuff.
Yes.
I feel like that's lost when you're introducing this element of like they just uncontrollably rape people.
No, Mumi, that's just what makes that's part of the sex appeal. That's what makes it more erotic in this manga.
That's what makes it erotic.
In this manga written by women.
That's kind of a problematic
women.
thing to put into your racism allegory. I don't know what you're trying to say. We'll be nice. Don't
think about
like,
it too much. Just start
foreigners.
jacking off to it, okay? That's all that matters.
No.
Which I will say, so there's also a prequel manga to this, which is basically the same kind of story, but now the main girl and the guy and the dog man are just straight up fucking. Like by the third chapter, they're just having sex, and he's like eating her pussy, and it's like describing his like teeth rubbing up against her.
I don't like
clit.
how you described that cast, because it made it sound like there was like 3 or 4 people. Like the main girl, the guy, the dog man. It's like, hold on.
The guy is the dog man.
Wait a minute.
So that manga is just way more. It's basically just hentai, except for the fact that their genitals are whited out. You see their genitals just completely whited out.
That is just doujins a lot of time too.
A lot of the time, yeah, but this isn't a published manga, so I guess they're able to get away with it. And that is basically like the prequel. Yeah, like I don't know what the rules are. I don't think it's published in an H magazine. I think it's just I could be wrong. I guess I haven't looked into it that much. I just kind of skimmed through the manga. By the way, this is like a whole genre of manga we were oblivious to before this anime, of like guy or girl in relationship with Beastman manga is just a whole world out there. So
I wouldn't say I was oblivious.
you were willfully
selectively ignorant. Yes.
But the prequel manga is just kind of very repetitive because every chapter is just them having sex in the exact same way. At one point she blows him, and that's like the sauciest that it get, like the most, like that it deviates from them just having regular sex. So this show, though, they don't have sex. They come very close to it, but it has a similar issue of just kind of being repetitive, and it doesn't really feel like a lot is happening. There's this like love triangle subplot going on that kind of doesn't really do anything with it. It feels like the main draw of the show, the main reason that you would want to watch it, is for like the very intimate, for lack of a better word, intimate romance scenes of them, again, just coming as close to having sex as you could possibly show in an anime.
I think this anime is an interesting thought experiment in being able to filter out like how we feel about these sorts of things. Mm-hmm. You're on board.
I'm
for
on
the
board.
Eroticism of it.
Yes.
I'm off board because they're not doing anything with these characters outside of erotic. Like, they just are fucking horn dogs. Yeah. I have no idea why this girl likes this guy, except she wants to fuck a dog.
She wants to know, yeah.
He has no personality. He wants
to be he's a nice guy. He wants to be he has abs.
No, he's a good boy. He doesn't give him a head pats.
Yeah, I mean that's like my main thing is
he's more athletic
outside of that. I mean, it's a very good looking show, but the actual romance component is not well developed. At least not for me.
Can we talk about the fact that they decided to show that he was genetically more athletic than everybody by playing basketball? Seems a bit questionable.
Well, what do you mean? Why?
I don't know. I think they're trying to make an allusion to like Larry Bird or something. It's a bit questionable.
I mean, I guess
if this is right?
I guess this is something you're into. By all means, go and watch it. But it's not as strong. I don't really much of a recommendation. I feel like
if this is something you're into, you're probably not listening to the Weeb Crew. I don't think our audience has crossover with.
Have you looked at the server recently? At all? Like, literally, You are the only one in the group watch that was not into it. Everyone else is like, all right, let's go. Oh, she's muzzling him. They're getting like weird BDSM bondage play. Yeah, it's fine. It's an interesting look into the female gaze in terms of how like women-driven manga and subsequent anime adaptations differ.
We just discussed how they just gender bent Blue from Blue's Clues. I don't know why you're involving the female gaze in this. All right, I think she's straight. That was the whole point. It's like heteronormative.
My point being that the way fan service in this is handled is noticeably different from how like fan service in something like what was the Sex Island show from last season?
Nukitashi.
Yeah, compare and contrast.
It's noticeably different from that, but it's also noticeably different from most female fans. Like most female fan service is like fuck, what's that guy's name from?
This is
Jujutsu
obviously
Kaisen
more
pulling-
extreme, but they're like it's more so like the focus on like kind of what we talked about with like Blue Box. There's a focus on like the intimacy of it and these sorts of like.
What was that COVID one? The COVID one is like what I think is like peak.
The one where like the fucking guy just almost like basically sexually assaults the main girl in a shower.
Yes, yeah, that is. This is like. Cause he doesn't even fucking go with, like, we were thinking that was trashy. We're like, oh, this is some peak trash. Like,
Yes.
This is female gaze. We're just going full ham. We're just living it up. This is like beyond that, where I'm like, this is even like hardly female gaze. This is just like horn dog gooner. I'm gonna jerk off to some bestiality.
It's for the
gaze.
girls. Stop dismissing art made by and for women. You sexist pig.
Fuck, what was it
We had
called?
2 other shoujo adaptations this season, which is way more than usual.
We have a Josei this coming up season, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that Journal with Witch, but shut the fuck up. We're not talking about that for a few weeks.
Oh.
So we had 2 other shoujo manga adaptations this season. We had Star Brighter Than the Sun, which is just a really nice, very straightforward romance about these 2 characters. They're childhood friends. They've grown up together, and they both really admire one another. And as they start to enter high school. Mm-hmm.
This is a good example to contrast to that fucking other one, because like I understand why these characters like each other. Like there is that element of like,
Sure.
oh, they're childhood friends or whatever, but like they also it's a thing of like loyalty, I guess, in some capacity, because they're like, oh, this other
they have
person
this like kind of like
when no one
complicated
else
dynamic
did.
where yeah, because she like knew him as a child, and he used to be a lot more of like a lot more feeble. I'm trying to think of a good word to describe. He had a massive glow up, like physically. He used to be like a lot like weaker, and she's always been very tall and kind of like self-conscious of that, but she was as a result kind of like protective of him in certain kinds of ways. And then like I think when he enters middle school, he just becomes like a jacked 6 foot tall Giga Chad, basically. And the idea is they kind of drift apart, and then when they enter high school together, these rumors start spreading, they about like them, like, oh, maybe they like someone. Who could it be? And the show does the thing where they both like each other, but they both assume that the other likes someone else, and they will like talk to one another about their crush, but they will do so in a vague way. But at the same time, it's obvious that they're just talking about you. Why are you not picking up on this?
It's one of those things where it's like, it's frustrating, but this is like the fun kind of frustrating. It's also not
It is
best executed. Like I've seen much better executed versions of this.
Sure, but it's not annoying. It doesn't get super like
annoying.
bogged down in this like really weepy melodrama kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or like super
It's
over the
cute.
top with it, where I'm just like, there's not a lot of load bearing stress on the miscommunication in the show. It's very light. It's very slice of life. The characters are very endearing. I do like how the show looks quite a bit. There's kind of like experimental directing techniques in terms of how like they're superimposing different shots and stuff, and I think they're trying to emulate the kind of flowing panel work that you get in shoujo manga in like an anime form.
Yeah.
It's a very nice, and it is, I think the manga is still ongoing, but the anime ends in a very conclusive fashion. It's a nice self-contained experience.
Well, they already announced the season 2.
Oh, did they? Okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen in season 2.
They're gonna be a
Fuck me,
couple
I
in season
guess.
2. They're gonna be able to flesh out how
Oh my
they
god!
interact.
Spoilers! They get together.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That is fucking. Okay, listen, that is kind of crazy.
Coming?
That is kind of crazy in a romance stuff that they actually get together at the end, though.
Yeah. Well, we were kind of betting. It's like, what if the guy just likes another girl? Now,
that would have gone kind of hard. That would have been crazy.
That would have been like a crazy. But no, they like each other, and it goes the very.
I don't know if it would have been better. It would have. Technically, I guess it would have been better because it's kind of like, oh shit, I actually did not expect you to go there.
Our expectations, yeah.
Because I can make it so fucking obvious. Hard. You're just like, oh my god, this is so. I'll just get together, just fuck
just
already, and then
already.
Like the reveal, like, oh no, he actually likes someone else. Like, oh fuck,
holy
wow, fuck. Okay, wow, that would have gone so hard.
It would have been like that scene in ReZero.
I love Amelia.
That would have been crazy. He just says, "I love Amelia." Fucking homewrecker strikes again.
I like romances where they make it. They give you enough information as to why these characters like each other.
Yeah,
right? I like to have the full spectrum of like a relationship because like you can start. That's fine. You can start off with them being horn dogs and they like just think they're hot. That's fine.
Yeah,
but it has to like go deeper than that for a story.
They need to have
something
interested. Else going on inside in their lives.
Like, this is like not. I mean, she likes him. Like he's like, oh, he grew up and turned hot.
Yeah,
and she like kind of appreciates that like other people are now seeing like the good qualities in him that she saw.
Yes,
but it's not like, oh, he's like the hottest guy at school. I want to date him. It's like there's no element of that to it. It's she's always liked him for who he was.
Yes.
And he's always liked her for who she was. And they kind of grow up and become generally attractive looking people.
No, she's really tall.
Just kind of like oh yeah, she's not hot. She's too tall. She's like
too tall.
She's like 4'10".
Yeah. No, I think they literally say like what her height is in the show at one point, like centimeters, and we convert it. And she's like 5'6".
Or something. Yeah, she's like 5 foot. She's 5'6".
Yeah.
She's literally 5'6", 167 centimeters.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, how is that obscenely tall in Japan?
Jesus.
I don't. The funniest thing though is just seeing like the main guy just have an insane glow up, and he's in his like third year of middle school. It'd be like so basically like a freshman, and he just looks like a fully grown adult.
He's a JoJo character. I do like. Well, okay. To be fair, freshmen in Japan would be like sophomores in America.
Yeah, but no, he's
3 years.
He's like already grown
up
by like the third year of middle school. Is my point.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense because like you're at the end of the third year.
He does not look like 14, 15 years old. Is my point.
Like 15, going on 16. Yeah. I liked this one. It was cute. The characterization was good.
Yes.
I like how they recontextualize some stuff very, very quickly at the end of the last episode, basically.
Well, when you get the reveal.
Well, like it's more not so much like the reveal that like, oh, they like each other, because that's fucking obvious. But like the contextualization of like why he acted the way he did.
Yes.
Where you're basically saying like, oh, he just felt the same way and the same reasons for that she did, kind of thing. And he was hearing the same thing she was from the other side, kind of.
Yeah. It's a mutual miscommunication, which again is like, how do you not know? She's talking about you.
Talking about you dense fuck.
you dense motherfucker.
Well, like he's coming at from the perspective of like, oh, of course she doesn't like me because I'm like, she just views me as some snot-nosed kid that can't drink milk or whatever. And she's the same, where she's like, of course he doesn't like me. He's fucking hot, and
he's hot, and I'm a disgusting tall freak Godzilla-looking motherfucker. It's a mutual thing of they have such a they hold the other in such high esteem that they're like. I mean, that's the title of the show, A Star Brighter Than the Sun. The idea is like they're out of reach, basically. They both think the other is out of their league.
Yeah. It's cute.
It's nice. It's a really nice show. And then the other shoujo anime this season, is Plus Size Misadventures in Love, which is body positivity office rom-com murder mystery.
Well, there's not a murder.
Attempted murder mystery. It's a lot. There's a lot going on in the show. I still need to finish it and like watch the last few episodes, but it's a lot of fun, is what I'll say. It's a lot of fun. The main girl is very charismatic in terms of, people will make like certain remarks about her body because, she's obviously, like overweight. And, that's especially in Japan, kind of looked down upon, to say the least. But she has such like a strong sense of self-confidence and affirmation that it all just kind of like just washes off of her, or she's able to like recontextualize it.
Well, they're doing an interesting thing here.
Yes.
Because they're divorcing self-esteem and confidence from your physical appearance,
right? Or like,
and they're tying it
society's
directly,
like standards for your own appearance.
Well, they're tying it directly to basically like the conditions growing up and like societal conditions around you. It's basically like, oh, you don't have low self-esteem because you're fat. You have low self-esteem because everyone treats you like shit because you're fat.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a meaningful difference, but it is making the distinction. So that's kind of an interesting point, I guess.
It's a very fun show. It's very funny, and I like that. It does deal. I mean, it starts off with what is initially suspected to be the main character's attempted suicide out of like
suicide.
And it does deal with that, and because she, as a result of that, gets amnesia. So that's the reason, like, her personality basically does a complete 180, and she's a lot more positive now. And she's dealing with like these elements of like regaining her memories and trying to like reconcile these two things of like who she was in the past and how she viewed herself in the past versus how she views herself now post amnesia, and like the merging of those two things and how that's negotiated. She's trying to fuck the company president. And there's a whole thing going on there with like that guy, and is in this weird relationship drama thing with the wife of the company of the section chief of the main character, and their kid, and all this stuff. And there's a murder mystery, and there's this asshole detective, and there's all these other coworkers, and she's making a product presentation for like ramen flavored chips. And there's a lot going on in the show, to say the least. And I know I'm not describing it in the best way, but it does a very good job at managing all of these different components.
This is just an Amy Schumer movie.
Thanks for listening to the Weeb Crew. This is the last episode we're doing. Goodbye.
There's an Amy Schumer movie called I Feel Pretty, where it's about her trying to date the president of the company she's at. And
are you familiar with the story of Cain and Abel? Because that's how I feel right now.
The wrestling story?
No, it's from this book called The Bible. Have you heard of this?
Is that like a new?
It's been around for a little bit. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
But yeah, this show, it's kind of a lot to get into because, like I said, there's a lot of different moving parts and stuff. It doesn't look. It looks all right for the most part. I do really like the stylization of the manga covers and the opening, but I also kind of just don't want to spoil a ton of stuff as well because there's like a mystery component and all this stuff going on. But it is a very strong recommendation from me, is what I would say.
I would say it's a strong recommendation. It's interesting. It's kind of fun. I think if it interests you, you probably already saw it. If you happen to miss it, if you were looking for like an office workplace sort of story, and you're curious to see some kind of body positivity message in
That's
an
the
anime.
thing. This is not like a fat phobic thing like that plus size elf show, which was just fucking atrocious.
I would say this is still kind of like not the best representation.
Well, they do make jokes about it, but it never feels like the joke is at her expense. It more so feels like there are these stereotypes and she just doesn't give a shit. And it's like, hell yeah, go off, queen.
I mean, there are points where she like falls out of a tree trying to climb it and like shakes the earth and people are like, whoa. I mean, there's some questionable things in it where I'm like, but it's like, it's not that deep.
She's not constantly stuffing her face with McDonald's and suddenly getting fat from that, like in plus size elf. God, that show is terrible.
That is a common thing. Like, even something like Ojimage Dormi tackles a couple of there's a couple episodes that tackle it. One of them is better than the other.
Okay.
One of them does have like, oh, you should just. Well, she like, I forget. Maybe I'm like misremembering there being 2 episodes. Maybe it was just one bad one. Maybe there was another subject that I handled better than the other. But I remember the earlier one, at least, if there's a second one. It did not handle it super well. It's like telling, it's doing this dieting thing to, was essentially like 3rd graders or 2nd graders. It's like, I don't know about that one. I don't know.
You gotta start them young on watching their weight. Get them on this diet. You gotta start injecting kindergartners with Ozempic.
The kindergartner Ozempic. I saw them handling that with the fucking milk cartons earlier. Don't ask me why I was at the kindergarten. I didn't think about that joke as I was coming out of my mouth. But yeah, this is fine. I feel like we talked about it a little bit. I feel like it would have been much more interesting if they had copied the art style of the manga more and it was more stylized.
I agree.
Can't blame the anime for that so much. No. It's like, it is what it is. You can only do
so much.
Check it out. It's not. I get. It's like a hand wave, like you know when you shake your hand back and forth, like yeah. It's like that. It's like yeah, go for it. Check it out or don't. It's not a strong recommendation.
Let's talk about the anime that everyone wants us to talk about, Wand Dance.
What?
Remember Wand Dance? Watch the first episode.
Yeah, no.
The anime with Scatman John.
I'm the Scat Man.
Tell us about the mangaka show, I guess. Since that's probably, would you say that's your favorite show of the season?
Probably is. It's not this. Okay, this season is a very complicated one because I wouldn't say the mangaka workplace one was like anywhere near the best execution as far as like production or anything. It very much reminds me of like a girlish number, kind of stylistically and it being kind of like stilted, or limited, I should say. It feels. I think what makes me like it so much is it feels very authentic. Like
yes, yeah.
It can go a little bit into like rose tinted territory, but it never does so to the degree that it kind of loses that authenticity and that kind of like genuine love of the craft that they clearly have. This being a manga adaptation.
It deals with like
basically writing about manga.
I do think it's like a relatively grounded depiction of being a mangaka. Obviously, there is like a degree of rose tintedness to it, but it's also not like dour and depressing, like out of your mind with stress, just wanting to die. But it does deal with, things like how do you handle cancellation and all these other kinds of anxiety. How do you even put a story together in the first place? And I think one of the more interesting aspects of the show that I really like seeing is how it really emphasizes manga as like a collaborative process. Because I think when we think of like manga and like it's from the singular mind of the mangaka, the auteur behind this work,
the auteur vision.
Yeah, whereas this is very much presenting, mangaka are constantly working with their editor in terms of getting feedback and where to go next and how to set stuff up, dealing with things like research and like looking into things that you're not necessarily familiar with, working with editors.
Well, that's a strong theme in a later episode even, where it's directly kind of saying like being a successful mangaka is not necessarily about how good you are. It's not even necessarily about luck. It's not like an algorithm play where it's like, oh, if I just keep throwing slots into the slot machine, one of them's going to make a hit. It's more about the people that you work with and the people that you meet.
Yeah.
And they make a point specifically about like how she's basically like, my career would not exist if I did not meet my editor.
Yeah.
Like that is how pivotal to her success her editor is that she basically would just not be in the industry. And like there are other mangaka that kind of have like a similar thing where like if I did not meet my editor when I did, I might have just been another failed mangaka that went home and had to go to get a real job or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's a matter of, it's almost like a respect, like a love letter to like your editor. Like obviously the manga's, the story's not focused on your editor.
It's also like this is a Yuri anime as well, because the main girl, the mangaka, also just has, we'll say, strong feelings for their editor.
They're really good friends.
They're really good friends.
But it's very genuine. If like there are a few episodes that like you kind of like start getting choked. You're like, oh, this is. I feel like you could really feel the love of the craft come through, even in this adaptation.
Like the episode that stuck the most with me is when the assistant character, she posts something online and it goes viral, and this editor wants to talk with her about getting like her own manga published, and she's suddenly been confronted with this opportunity, and she just doesn't know what to do. It's basically, opportunity has come knocking and she's not ready for it. And I really like how they go about handling the anxieties surrounding that sort of thing. Where at one point she asks the main character, it's like, how do you tell a story? And the main girl, the manga, is just like, I don't know, you just A, B, C, D, you just tell things in a sequence, and does this not make sense to you? She's like, no, it doesn't. My brain doesn't work that way.
I really liked the one girl that moves in with them at one point.
Oh yeah, the girl, her manga gets canceled.
Nashida?
Yeah.
Nashida. I really like her.
Mm-hmm.
Like how they give her a very kind of like bassy voice a lot of the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is very uncommon. I really like that kind of like juxtaposition where, cause she just looks like she just have a generic like high pitched anime voice. And then she kind of like has this deeper voice. You're like, oh. And plus like, she's kind of like the what do they call those characters? Like the kooky characters.
Genki?
Not Genki. Like the Seme and Uke, but in comedy instead of yaoi.
Kinda.
I don't remember what they call them. She's one of those kind of characters.
Well, she's also interesting because her whole thing is her manga got canceled, and it goes into like, yeah, between getting canceled and your next publication, your next serialization, who knows how much time is gonna pass, how long that'll take. Yeah, it's not like this like super depressing thing like a Japanese boy who draws or anything like that, and it's not like a glaze fest like that's how I've been told Bakuman basically is. It presents being a mangaka as a relatively stable middle class job.
To be fair with Bakuman.
Mm-hmm.
Bakuman is a glaze fest, but it's not a glaze fest in the way of like being a manga is the best thing ever. It's the greatest thing I've ever done. It's not. It's a glaze fest, and to be fair, you have to have a really high IQ to be a mangaka or something.
and here this takes the opposite approach of it's just like work with other people, be able to draw. You might be able to turn this into a career, and if you can, it's a good career. It's a decent paying job. You become a celebrity, but odds are not. But it's a nice job. You have to work from home and stuff. So yeah, it's just a nice. It is kind of a workplace comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess to put in perspective, this is my favorite anime of the season. If you're score-brained, deranged,
mm-hmm.
This is a 6. So
that
tells you the peak of this season.
Well, let's talk about your second favorite show this season then, and maybe my
Shabake.
Shabake, definitely one of my favorite shows of the season.
This is best produced.
Yes, and no one watched it.
No one watched it. 13,000 members on Mal.
Oh my god!
Same as the fucking. 14,000 people watched the plus-sized Misadventures Love show. So 1,000 more people watched that over Shabake.
So what you're saying is this is hidden gem slop.
This is hidden gem slop.
So what is Shabake about, Mumi?
Shabake is about this sickly guy, and he lives in this fucking sickly house where they do apothecary things.
He's like a sickly kid.
Here's a story.
He comes from a successful family of business owners. They basically own an apothecary shipping company, basically.
Right.
It takes place in Edo, Japan, so it's kind of a period piece, and he can see ghosts.
Right.
He can convene with spirits. Yeah, not ghosts of dead people, but spirits, like spirits of objects, other sorts of like supernatural kinds of things, and they kind of just they just help him out and take care of him. They're all friends, and then there's a murder mystery plot that's very reminiscent of something like Exorcist 3.
You lost.
I guess if you haven't seen Exorcist 3, that doesn't make much sense to you. But this is a very, I don't want to say like super well produced, but it's a very consistently good looking show with nice characters. They are all fleshed out. It's a complete like single core, complete package. You learn everything that you would want to know about these characters. They all have like their little thing. All the questions are basically answered by the end in terms of, what's the good deal with this or this and why did this happen? And
is this a complete adaptation?
I think it is, because it's a novel adaptation, isn't it?
It does have a manga.
Okay.
I don't know if this might be one of those things where it's like this is the adaptation of the manga is 4 volumes.
Okay, that's very short, and I mean
that is possible that it is
like just a single core, and that this is the whole story.
I would assume this is. Yeah, I would assume that this is a full adaptation.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like one. We get a very nice, conclusive ending. Everyone, get a nice arc, especially with like the main character, where everyone is constantly concerned about him. Everyone's like, "Are you okay? You can't be doing stuff on your own. You're sick. You're the heir of this company as well. You got to take care of yourself and not fucking die." And his character arc is he's more or less learning and trying to take agency for himself. Despite everyone constantly worrying about him, he wants to demonstrate that he himself is capable of being his own person and acting on his own, and he doesn't need to be constantly watched over by like the spirit friends that are assigned to basically watch over him.
Yeah. What did you think about the mystery in this one?
What?
What did you think about the mystery in this?
I thought it was interesting enough.
It was okay, I guess.
I don't
know.
I don't want to say a lot about the mystery though, because it's a good show, but I also don't want to like give a ton away because I think a nice part of the show is like seeing how these different things are unraveled or explained. Granted, most of the show is characters talking in rooms.
Yeah.
So which is probably why not a lot of people watched it. There's not exactly hype moments in aura, but I think it's definitely it's what we'd call elitist slop, I guess, in that it's not like insanely well written, I would say, but it is carried by its writing. Not that it's like super clever, but the characters are all very likable.
It's carried by its writing, but it's not carrying it very far.
Yeah, it's a very good show, but it's not like a Rakugo kind of thing where it's like, oh my god, oh my goodness. One thing I will say, I do appreciate the character designs are period accurate. That being said, it's easy to get people confused in this show.
Yeah, their faces aren't distinct enough, and they all look.
They all have the top knot haircut, which again, I appreciate that the show is period accurate with that. Many shows are not. That being said, were some times when I was like, wait, who's this character? Oh, it's that character. Okay.
Yeah, look real close at their eyes.
But I would say I would recommend this to anyone who wants just a more, because while it is like a murder mystery, it's not exactly like a thriller. What I would say, it is more so just a general character drama.
Right.
And if you like the tone that you get in that first episode, in terms of the main character and like these like cast of spirit characters that he's interacting with, and you like that overall vibe, then I would recommend continuing. Just watch the whole show then. It's one of those things where you watch the first episode and you can very clearly tell, like, this is something I really like, or I'm going to fall asleep watching this.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite shows of the season.
It doesn't really like evolve into like a different show in any way.
No, it's very consistent throughout.
You get a very clear snapshot of what you were getting with the first episode. For better or worse.
For better or worse.
Yeah, that's my top 3. I would say.
No, yeah, I do really like the show. It's not a very strong season though.
None of these shows are in my top like 15 of the year for what it's worth.
No, yeah, I don't think so either. Even coming close, yeah, definitely not close to like my top 10 of the year, which we'll get to next week. But I
feel like me just saying like it's not even my top 15. Most people be like, I didn't even watch 15 anime. Well, I want to watch any of these.
I don't watch 15 anime that aired this year. We watched. I don't know how many we watched this season actually. Hold on.
This season, like 12, 13-ish.
Yeah, not a lot. Like less than usual. Which is fine. If anything, we probably could have gotten away with watching less.
I
tried. We watched Alma-chan Wants to Be a Family, which is basically Spy Family. But if Anya was a robot,
slop.
Yeah, it's have kids slop. It's pronatalist slop. Shinzo Abe slop. It's basically just have a family, sort of family. You want a family, don't you? Look how happy and nice this family is. Yeah, it's just like kind of like a spy family kind of thing. I don't have a ton to say about it. It's kind of cute. There's some good jokes in there that I laughed quite a bit at. I liked there was like a joke about that movie Gravity that came out like 10, 15 years ago. Doesn't look that great. Also, the ED is just, if you want to even further solidify the Spy Family comparison, the ED is just a direct reference to Spy Family. It's doing the Spy Family thing, I think, for the second season ED, if I remember correctly, where it's like kind of going around the room. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it going around the room, or was it just going around different like scenery in Spy Family? I feel like there was like.
It was a little bit more dynamic, I think. But the ED for this has like a very similar kind of thing. It doesn't look anywhere near as good. But yeah, in terms of I just other stuff just to mention in passing, kinda. Uh, May I ask for one final thing? I think was a lot of people's favorite for this season. I've been enjoying it all right. The strongest part of the show is the main girl just punching shit. It's very fun. It's just kind of inherently fun to see her just punch people who deserve it.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a girls punching thing connoisseur.
Yes, you are a known Symphogear fan.
Known Symphogear fan. Yuki Yuna fan.
Yes.
This didn't do anything for me. This is like bottom of the barrel girl punching shit.
No.
For being fucking real. Like
I don't know. I think the main character
is like Fist of the North Star for fucking,
in terms of just like. But it's fun to see because this is also just like how she vents, and she's enjoying punching people so much that it's fun. Outside of that, there isn't a like, oh, she's beating up slave traders. That's fun, but outside of that, I'm just kind of like, eh.
You say she's
when
enjoying
she's not beating the shit out of people, it's
not like
markedly
presented
worse.
In like a enjoyment, like she's not like laughing and like the juxtaposition of her being like super giddy and laughing and like acting like it's like the greatest time in the world and like letting loose her like child side or whatever while she's like punching the shit out of people and their teeth flying out would have been great. How it presents itself, she's having the time of her life, but it's like her making witty one-liners about pig orc things being pigs, and
it's basically her venting is what it is. She's like, I'm so fucking fed up with these people. I'm just going to take pleasure in beating the shit out of them.
It's just it just comes off like Fist of the North Star or something, where it's just like, oh my god.
No, I'd say she's more charismatic than Ken. She's not like a fucking stoic man and cries sometimes.
Kenshiro makes one-liners and shit.
Yeah, but they're not funny.
Well, neither are these. Like, she's like, I'm gonna roast you up, pig man.
He's not like super happy. Also, the action in Fist of the North Star is very like just Omae wa shinderu, whereas this is like she is like jumping around or just punching people. She's not doing like
it is more animated. I will say I read the manga, so that wasn't necessarily of an issue because the manga's art's actually really good in Fist of the North Star.
That's fair. It's fine. I enjoy. Well, it's when it's doing the stuff that I think is fun. It's fun, and outside of that, it's just kind of on autopilot.
That's a lot of it's on autopilot.
I guess going back to Maname, Ninja vs. Gokudo is fucking awesome.
Oh, that was this is the most fun show to see. Like, if you want fucking whatever the fuck
brain dead schlock, I just want over the top insanity. It doesn't need to be well animated. It just needs to have aura. This is the show.
This is like you ask your mom like, oh, can we buy this? And it's like a JoJo DVD. She's like, we have JoJo at home. And it's Ninja vs. Gokudo.
To give you an idea of what the show is like, at one point, one of the villains in the show, trying to kill the main character, shoots himself in the head so that the bullet will ricochet around his skull and then pop back out of his eye and shoot the main character. This is the show. The
character's name was Dio.
And the main character and the main villain do not know. It's like a secret identity thing. They don't know each other's identity, but they are friends and they are bonding over their mutual love of Precure.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's tragic. There are moments in the show that are genuinely poignant, like everything with the biker gang stuff, and they're talking about this biker gang stuff and coming back to it as being like them reclaiming their youth from the mundanity of adulthood, and I'm just like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. There's
a recurring theme of like these people were put on a path that they could have gone off of. They did not have to commit to said path, but they chose the wrong path and are too far gone, so you can't really redeem them.
Yeah.
And there were things that they could have done to, like, not been on this path. But if they hadn't, we wouldn't get Koyasu doing the fuck Walmart Dio impression while shooting a gun.
Yeah, I guess I would have any sort of complaint about the show is the animation is very limited, but I don't care. I think that adds to the vibe. Here, let me read you the recommendations on AniList real quick. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, the top one. The second one with the same number of votes is Fresh Precure. And then Baki, Under Ninja, Sakamoto Day. Okay, then it just kind of falls off after that. But if you like Baki and Precure, do I have the fucking show for you?
Baki and Precure, fucking the ED's done by Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh my god,
fun.
Yeah. The show is just kind of mindless fun, and then it locks in and hits you with some pretty genuine pathos that you just it catches you off guard at points because it's so over the top but so earnest that I just vibe with it inherently. I'm like, fuck yeah.
This is a genuine manime.
Yes,
this is like stupid. Turn your brain off. Feel with your heart.
Yes.
Kind of shit. Where you're just like, hype moments, and I wouldn't say there's some aura, but
there's
it's like
some aura.
And
but it's not. It doesn't have
know.
like the strong enough drawings to have a ton of aura. It's but goddamn, is it not fun?
That's a pretty strong recommendation.
But I would say I have a strong recommendation for, and we're a little bit divided on this, is Gnosia, the Among Us anime. I feel like that's all I really need to say. It's anime Among Us. It's werewolf. It's mafia. Except they're on a ship, and there's a time loop mechanic with the main character. So he's just playing these games of werewolf over and over and over again, and it's pretty fun, honestly. I think it does a very good job at every episode is like introducing something new. The main character is learning something new. There's either like a new mechanic or a new character is introduced, or we're in a new kind of situation. It's been doing a very good job at keeping every episode from feeling super repetitive, even though it is a time loop, because we're getting just enough that's different every time to keep it fresh.
I will say this is probably one of the better video game adaptations of this kind of game type I've seen.
Yeah, well, the obvious comparison would be to something like Danganronpa, and I feel like this is both more entertaining than the Danganronpa anime and does a better job adapting the material. This
is done really well in pacing itself out.
Yes.
Where you're kind of like, oh, it's going to obviously do this at some point and do it. And it's always kept it fresh with each like little iteration or loop or whatever, where it's like, well, shit.
It's like, oh,
all right.
It's like I think like the first episode, it's like, are we going to get an episode where they do this? We got an episode where they do that. Are we going to get an episode where they do this? That episode does happen. So it is very satisfying in that regard. I think your main issue is you just aren't necessarily that interested in just the baseline premise of the show.
Yeah. I mean, it's moderately fun watching week to week in a group because like we just discuss it afterwards, and that's like
we discuss like could he have done anything differently? Did this make sense? All that kind of stuff, because there is a fair amount of like logic games that go on in the show, and I think it does a good job at balancing doing like the logic game stuff with the whole like werewolf stuff, where it's like, well, if this person was the Gnosia, then this person is lying, and then this person must also be the Gnosia, and you're figuring stuff out that way, while also having episodes that are much like more character focused, and we're learning about all these, like, because it's a fairly big cast of characters, and they're all very weird, and distinct, and there's some strange sci-fi concepts in the show that are very fun to see.
There is a character that had a cat installed in his neck, so he can acclimate to becoming a cat because he wants to be a trans cat human.
Yes, there's a girl that has like slime mold tattoos, and without spoiling a ton, at some point something goes wrong and the slime mold on her goes haywire and starts killing everyone. It goes all over the place at some points. There's a talking dolphin. There's a guy that looks like a gray alien, but he just had his skin burned off, and this is his artificial skin. I do like just the wacky ragtag cast of characters that are on this ship for varying reasons.
Ragtag ass. Ragtag slop.
Ragtag slop. It also is an overall pretty good looking show. It's consistently decently animated. The character designs are fairly complicated, and I feel like the anime does a good job at capturing the feel of those character designs based on what I've seen in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of my favorite things of the season. I think Mumi's just more lukewarm on it, just by virtue of the premise. I think it's a lot of fun. I like the characters. It's a recommendation from me.
It's if it seems like it's your thing, it's kind of fun.
Do you like weird gender stuff?
That is the most interesting. Like, no one's really talking about like there were 11 aspect of this, because this is just like they were 11, but
no one knows what they were 11 is. You fucking boomer.
We watched it at the same time.
I know, but I'm also a boomer in this context. No one knows what that anime is. No one's seen that movie.
It's interesting though.
It was a fine movie. I like this more.
No, not the movie. The connection is interesting.
Oh, the
sci-fi element. So.
Yeah, like a sizable portion of the cast is just non-binary or asexual, like explicitly. Again, tying into like these weird sci-fi. It reminds me of the classic line from that episode of Dirty Pair where they're like 1 in 10 people have changed their gender these days. Why do you give a shit?
I guess in a game story where they're trying to sniff out who is an imposter and playing with themes of identity, it makes sense that they would have gender questioning identities in the show. Yeah.
I do also like what we've learned is it's doled out very sparingly in terms of learning new information about the overall world and what is actually going on in the story. But the more we learn, the more I'm just kind of like, who's the real villain in this show? What is going on?
Clearly, we are the real villain for fucking continuing to watch the show, and things keep unfolding.
Yes. Well, I mean,
if we just stopped watching it, it would have a better ending.
I mean, not necessarily. No, there will still be episodes coming out, even if we don't watch them.
Yeah, but we'll never know what happened in them, so it's just nothing ever bad happened in it.
It doesn't bother. Listen, if I stop at the happy ending, then I just get the happy ending.
If you're about to be in a train accident or like a plane accident or something, if you just close your eyes, plug your ears, and go nah, it will not happen.
Speaking of accidents, this monster wants to eat me. Kind of
that was an accident.
Kind of unfortunate the show comes out the season after the summer Hikaru died, because I mean, they're not super similar shows, but they have a similar like surface level premise, where it's a gay relationship with monster person, and it deals with trauma. I like the show all right. I like the characters' melodrama and all the stuff going on. It's basically just this really depressed girl because of this. I guess I won't spoil it, but like a tragedy has happened in her life, and she wants to die. So she makes a pact with this mermaid girl. The mermaid girl will eat her and grant her wish of dying, and it's this kind of toxic Yuri thing going on. But as the show goes on, we learn more about these characters and and their different motivations and their backstories, and it ends up recontextualizing stuff and kind of, changing certain things. The line here between recontextualization and just retcon, a little bit flimsy, to be honest. But I like it overall. I think it has a good sense of pathos and drama to it. Not necessarily as strong in terms of presentation or layering these different kinds of ideas in terms of like identity and like anxiety of like living in a small town or all these things that Summer Hikaru Died does. But it's a fun show nonetheless. I enjoyed this quite a bit.
Wait, so they don't have it as like an allegory for like being gay, being a monster, and people like reject? They don't.
No, that's not really a component of the show. I thought you were gonna make like a fish taco pussy joke for a second, and I was gonna be like, please don't say that.
Listen, you thought of that up. I didn't fucking think that up. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what you're trying to project onto me, but I just had a genuine, normal question. I don't know where.
If this show is the kind of thing that you're interested in, it's probably already on your radar. It is a fairly popular show, fairly popular manga. I think the adaptation has overall been well received. And there's not really much this season I would just recommend to anyone and be like, this is a must watch. It's more so just like conditional, like if this is like the kind of thing that you're into, go for it. If not, then you probably know that and you don't need me to tell you to stay away. So
I dropped it. That's why I'm not really saying anything about this show. I watched like one episode and I was like, I have no interest in this shit. So.
See, there you go. I think the last thing we really have to talk about this season is another ongoing show, 2-core, Sivis.
Oh, Sivis.
That's
all right.
I feel like we don't get shows like this anymore. These 2-core original anime. I feel this is like more like a thing like 10, 15 years ago, especially in terms of like pacing and just overall structure, because the idea of the show, it's kind of similar to Symphogear, where you have this idol group that are fighting these like sci-fi kind of monster things. And the idea is there's this thing falling towards Earth that no one else can see except them. And if it makes contact with Earth, it doesn't just destroy it, it erases it entirely from existence and no one will remember it. Like, I think, what is it? Like all of Shibuya gets erased and people are just like, what is Shibuya? What are you talking about?
Shibuya, I hardly know her.
There are some interesting ideas in terms of existence being contingent on what the show calls idea, and your idea is more or less based on this idea of other people perceiving you, and the more other people perceive you, the stronger your idea, the more you exist in a certain sense. So the reason the main characters need to be idols is so they can perform and people will perceive them, which gives them more idea so they can fight the monsters and stop the world from being destroyed.
What?
Is
that an anime plot?
Yes, in fact. Yes, it is. It's an anime original.
I thought you were playing ad-libs or something.
No. What I would say reminds me the most of, it feels like it reminds me of like a Majestic Prince kind of thing, in terms of we have a decently sized ensemble cast. It's 2-core, so the way that they handle characterization and the overall pacing is a lot slower than, say, something like Dusk After the End of the World. And I kind of like that overall pacing to it, where it's a little bit more, we're not necessarily like hammering through everything. We can kind of dole out information and like characters' backstories in a little bit more of a slower fashion, I guess, to just repeat myself. But I like that overall kind of vibe and this kind of tone that it has to the show. It is 2-core, so we'll have to see how it develops. We're at the middle point now, and we're starting to learn more about the world. I guess in terms of like juxtaposition, what was it earlier this year? The new Aquarion series this year. I think that is a show that would have been that would have benefited more if it was paced more like this. I feel like we get a little bit more of like the character, because the fucking Aquarion just hammers through stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Jesus Christ! They're bringing up all these like weird like science fiction concepts. Not even science fiction concepts, like just science concepts. And I'm like, that's not really what that is, or you're using that in a weird way that doesn't really make sense, but okay. Oh, never mind. We've just moved on.
Moved on. It's fine.
It's fine. It has its own kind of schizo charm. I prefer the slower pacing of something like this that lets me get a little bit more attached to everything and not feel like I'm constantly in a state of confusion.
I will say I still prefer Aquarion over this.
I think, yeah, I don't know. For me, I just don't care about anything in Aquarion. Whereas this, I like the characters, especially, not the main girl, but she's like kind of the head of the group, essentially, since she's the one writing all the songs. She has this like really interesting kind of personality where it's almost like a mix.
Mamimi girl?
Yeah, well, she's like a mix of like Mamimi and Haruko. You have the more like social media driven idol girl. You have the kind of pompous, a little bit like an asshole, salt and pepper guy. You have the fucking kind of schizo twin character, and then just the main character who is the one who's just basically there so we could have a main character to keep things a little bit more like grounded.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, not a great season to say the least. Nothing I'm like holy shit about. This is definitely the worst season of the year. Even like there wasn't a ton in winter of 2025 that I was like super into, but at least it had stuff like Medalist where I was like, hell yeah. This is overall like
Senshu.
Yeah. Whereas this I'm like, yeah, I like Shabake. I like the mangaka show. I think maybe it's also just held back by the fact that two of the shows that I think I would like the most of like Sanda and Shumatsu Touring. I've seen one episode of Sanda and like 3 episodes of Shumatsu Touring. So maybe that's also a little bit of an aspect to it. Yeah. I mean, there's your docket. There's everything for the season. If anything tickles your fancy, I guess go check it out. But there's nothing that I think we're advocating super strong people go out of their way to check out.
Except for the real anime of the season, Ganglion.
How is Ganglion?
I thought you were gonna make a joke about it being like the thing that hangs in your the uvula or something. And
no, how is it? Tell me how it fucking is.
It was pretty good.
Okay.